Oh god. Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Duel Academy. Now I did record this game before, but I accidentally clicked out of the game, which made the game automatically end. So I need to start all the way over again, which I didn't want to do, but you know, it's a dummy fun. So welcome to Elite Duelist. I am Shepard. My name is Shepard, the Chancellor of this Academy. Yes, we all know that. I know many of you are nervous, but you were all accepted based on your merits. Study hard, duel hard, and play hard to become the king of the game, the next king of the game. Okay, congratulations on your acceptance to Duel Academy. To make things official, write your name on this document. Okay. The first name, my name is gonna be capital because I like being okay. There we go. So your name is Ultimate. Student, you are in Slifer. Your dorm is Slifer Red. Slifer Red dorm is next to the bridge leading to the harbor. Your orientation continues there. Good luck. Okay, thank you. Welcome to Slifer Red. I'm the headmaster of Slifer Red. Slifer Red, Professor Banner. And this little buddy is Vera. Okay. I'm Jaden Yuki. Nice to meet you. I kind of wish it was like a mix of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! DX, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Zex. Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal and Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. Because then we just have everything. I am Cyrus Jaden's roommate. I'm Chumley Huffington. I am like the oldest one here. Mainly because I've been flunking my classes. Well, gotta get those grades up. Duel Academy has Slifer Red, Raw Yellow, and Obelisk Blue. They're 3 different dorms. You're assigned to a level depending on your intrinsic skill score. Looks like you're here in Slifer Red with us. However, there's tests every month. Dorms. Depending on your grades, you may go to a different dorm. If you score really well, you can choose whatever dorm you want. Other than your dorm, you also get a duelist title. Okay, the duelist has different ranks. The title has different ranks. So this is how this works. There's apprentice duelist, novice duelist, average duelist, but the topic rank is the king of game. Only the one person is in the entire school can get that rank. So there are different ranks in this game. You can get novice duelist, apprentice duelist. You can but the top rank is king of game. Only one student in the entire school can get that rank. So that's kind of like a challenge here. You need to be able to level up enough to get in higher ranks, and then if you get into this, and I'll actually try to explain the game as much as I go. Yeah, we don't need 2 kings at once. I'm gonna be the king of games, like tomorrow. Yeah, if anyone's gonna become king of games, most likely you. I know I'll be king. I guess so. to become king of games, there's more to it than just winning a lot of duels. Okay. There are a bunch of other requirements. Hundreds and thousands of duels to try to become the king of games. But it's like impossible. See, to become king of game, hey, I already said I'm gonna be king of game. Did you hear me? Because king of game doesn't depend on the dorm you're in. It's all about fulfilling the requirements. in all the years I've been here, no one from this zone has ever become king of games. But I sense something special in you. Yes, indeed. Okay. Why don't you walk around school and duel duel with other students and collect cards? But in order to do that, you'll need to master the controls. Yeah. I actually got to this point before, and it really didn't make any. Okay. I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna do it for the people at home, so they know how to. So whenever people learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, they actually know how to play. So I'll also try and explain it after he does. I did it before, but I had to do it again because the last recording failed because I accidentally exited the game. So here we go. Cards are divided into monster cards, spell cards, and trap cards. Let's start with monster cards. Okay. First are normal monster cards. These have yellow card holders. So most cards that are normal, that means they don't have any special abilities, they don't have any special things, they just have a level, and then they have card text. That's what that is. These cards are basic cards in battle. Yeah, they don't have any special abilities or anything. There are stars below the card's name. This is the monster level. On the top right is the attribute. At the bottom of the card is the board, battle and vision, attack and defense. So, monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh, for you guys that don't know at home, monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh have different abilities, and depending on what kind of monsters you summon, they have different abilities, and they can actually do all types of different things. If you look at the card type, is not on the card visual, therefore on the detail screen check the card text that appears on the right. Okay, so it's not shown here, but I can read the card text. This legendary dragon is a powerful engine of destruction. Virtually invincible, very few have faced this awesome creature, and let me tell the tale. Very true. I know Yu-Gi-Oh way too well. Okay, let's move on. Effect monsters. Yeah, here we go. Next are effect monsters. These have orange borders. So these cards have different effects and special abilities. They can actually help you throughout battle. Like Time Wizard. He has well, you can't really see it well, but he had an orange card, unlike the other one. For those who couldn't see or is colorblind, that was an orange. The card that's shown on the screen had an orange card. Unlike normal monsters, these monsters have various effects. The effects are written on the card text. Therefore, this is very important. Make sure to check the card text in the details screen. Okay, toss a coin and call heads or tails. If you call it right, your opponent's monsters on the field are destroyed. If you call it wrong, your monsters on the field are destroyed. So in the show, for people that don't watch it, in the show you get a time roulette. However, in this game, it seems to be just a coin flip instead of like a roulette type of thing where it spins and then it's a 50-50 chance to either land on a skull or to land on a castle. That's how that is usually played, but in this time coin flip, so it's pretty much the same thing except with a coin. Okay, ritual monsters. Next are ritual monsters. These have blue borders. Nice. These monsters are summoned using rituals. The ritual requirements are written on the card text. There are ritual monsters that also have effects, so make sure the card text to find out what the effects are. Now, a lot of people have seen Black Buster before, but just so people know what this is. I'll leave this on the screen. Well, actually, I'll read it. And most people, when they play games, they be like, "Oh, you have to read the card text and stuff." Because I'm not gonna read this, but I'll actually read it on my channel. So if you guys want to see, pause the video and read it yourselves, you can. But if you want, you can hear me read it. That's absolutely optional as well. This monsters can only be ritual summoned using with the ritual spell card, the Lackluster Ritual. You must also offer monsters whose total stars equal 8 or more as a tribute from the field or your hand. So that's how ritual monsters work. You play the respective ritual card, and then once you play the respective ritual card, you also have to sacrifice monsters that equal or is more than as a tribute from the field or from your hand. So that's how those work. Okay, next up is fusion monsters. I know how to do all this, but I'm doing this to teach other people how to play the game. Finally, there are fusion monsters. Now, this is the highest that you can go, but if you want to learn about like synchro monsters and pendulum monsters and Xyz monsters and all this crazy crap that is not in this game, you'll have to look on some other videos. But in this game, which I'll explain anyway, even though they're not in the game, I still like to explain everything that there is to explain about Yu-Gi-Oh! That's why I'm going to explain it anyway. So there's fusion monsters, so it's not in this game, but there are synchro monsters, Xyz monsters, and pendulum monsters in other games of this. In other games that have been used. Finally, there are fusion monsters. These cards have a violent cardboard. See, like playing swords. Summon these cards by using various monsters. To fusion summon, you also need the spell card of polymerization. The card text specifically specifies which monster you use together in order to summon this monster. There are fusion monsters that also have effects. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get a fusion thing, but right now I can't stress how important it is to read card text. Yeah, we know that. Flame Manipulator plus Masky the legendary sword. So for the cards in blue, for this card, the cards in blue are the cards that you need to summon the fusion monsters, and each fusion monster has different monsters that you need to be able to fuse to be able to summon that specific fusion monster. But also, there are normal monsters that are actually stronger than fusion monsters. So it depends on what kind of fusion monster you have. In this case, this monster has 1,800 attack points. So that's how that works. Okay, moving on to spell cards. Next are spell cards. These cards have a cardboard. Yeah, that's what a spell card looks like. There are 6 different types of spells. Okay? Yeah, I know this, but I'm using this to teach other people how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Normal spells, equip spells, field spells, quick play spells, continuous spells, and ritual spells. Which I will explain all about Yu-Gi-Oh! As this series goes on. I actually want to try and get as far as I can in this game. Spell cards are not normal spell cards that are not normal spell cards have icons under their card's name. The effect of the spell is also written in the card text. In order to use the spells effectively, make sure to read and understand the card text. Okay, this spell card is called Dark Hole, which for most people that know what this is, they know what this does. But for people that don't know, when you activate this card, it destroys all monsters on the field. So if you're gonna use this card in a duel, make sure that you do not have any monsters on your field. Because if you have monsters on your field and your opponent, like if your opponent has monsters on the field, yes, it'll be useful. But if you also have monsters on your field, that can destroy your monsters, and then you will be left defenseless on your next turn. So make sure that you do not have any monsters on your field if you're going to use that card. Alright, on to the next one, which is trap cards. Now this is tricky. Finally, there are trap cards. These have cardboard, even though that the fusion monsters are better, better cardboard than even though that trap cards have pink cardboarders and fusion monsters have purple cardboarders, but apparently it looks more purple than see. Look, it's pink, but they said purple, so it's they. I don't know who created this game, but they didn't know Yu-Gi-Oh very well. There are three different types of traps: normal traps, which look like that; continuous traps, like that; and counter traps, which look like that. Continuous traps and counter traps also have icons, so you can tell them apart. Trap cards. These traps effects also are written in the card text. Make sure to read the card text before using it. So if you want to use the card trap ball, which again, for most people that know what this does, it's great for you. But for other people that don't know what this does, you guys are in for a treat. If the attack of the monster excluding special summon, so if you special summon a monster, that monster cannot be affected by this trap. It's 1,000 points, attack points, or more. That monster is destroyed. So if you use this, so if your opponent summons a very powerful monster, but it was not a special summon, meaning it is not a fusion summon. Fusion summon, or it was not special summoned to the field by other ways, or it's a normal card that was not special summoned to the field by normal ways, you can destroy that card. Okay, makes sense? Okay, moving on. This episode I think is going to be mostly about teaching others how to play, and then it'll be explaining the rest of the game. So let's move on. How to construct a deck. Let's learn how to do it. Okay, I'll teach you how to construct a deck. Okay, your deck is a collection of cards to use to duel. You must have between 40 and 99 cards in your deck. Which, here's the thing, the lower your deck is, the lower your deck is in cards, the more of a chance you have of drawing cards that'll help you. Be careful, if you have less than 40 cards, you can't do it. In your deck, you can't do it. In addition to the main deck, you can also have a side deck and a fusion deck. You can use the side deck in match duels. Your side deck can contain up to 15 cards. Okay, a match duel is the best of 3 duels. You can exchange cards with your main deck with your side deck in between duels. During the duel, you place your fusion monsters in a pile separate from your main deck. This is called a fusion deck. When editing your decks, not only can you create your main deck and side deck, but you can also create a separate fusion deck. However, your main deck and fusion deck can only be maximum combined total of 99 cards. So if you have fusion, so for anyone that doesn't know what that means that if you have a, that means that The maximum, at least in this game, is 99 different cards. So you need to be careful. I'll explain the information of the deck edit screen. The name of the deck you're currently editing appears on the top right of the screen. Oh. The number of cards in the top at the top center of the screen indicates the number of cards in your deck, fusion deck, and side deck. Below are the cards that separated by type that you have also in the list. You can also move the cursor to change the cards in the list. Starting from the left, and different list of all cards. 1 to 4 low-level monster cards. 5 to 6 middle monster cards. 7 or more high monster cards. Spell cards. Okay. Trap cards. Monster, normal monster cards, okay. Effect monster cards, fusion cards, which I explained that earlier, and ritual monster cards, which for right now I only have many stuff. Okay, so after choosing the cards, type 1, press the Control or A button on your A button to move the cursor to the card list. Press up and down on the plus pad, or if you're not playing, I'm not playing on computer, so I can choose here to move the cursor and of the card list and find the cards you're looking for. The cursor is currently on the left list. These cards are in the trunk. The cards on the right shows the cards currently in your deck. While the cards on the left can only show in the trunk. Similarly, the right only shows the cards in your deck. Like I said, this video is going to be just about learning stuff. I will play a little bit before the video is over. I will play at least one, but in the future episodes, there are going to be more tools. The bottom of the screen shows the information of the card you are currently selected. The left shows the card art, the card order that indicates the type of card, which that's no monster. The number on the top right is the card's number in the game. Stars are only on monster cards to represent the monster's level. The middle row is the card's name. The number on the bottom left row shows the number of cards in the trunk or deck. Now, I'm not learning how to do any of this. I am doing this to teach other people how to play the game. If the card is a monster card, attack, defense, and type / attribute cards are displayed. If the card is a spell or trap card, the type icon is displayed. Refer to the instruction manual to learn the different types and attributes. Examine card target. I'll teach you a few tricks to quickly find the card you're looking for. While selected in the list, press the A button to open the menu. If you select filter in the menu, the sensor moves to the list of information. Move the cursor to and select the card type of the card you're looking for. Okay. Oh. After choosing the card type, press select. So more people know how to do this. For example, if you want to select the highest monster with the highest attack, ATK, select attack. See, the cards are rearranged in attack order. The monster with the highest attack is on the very top. In the sort menu, if you select the L button instead, the cards rearrange in reverse order. If you use this to find the cards at the bottom of the list. There are also the icon list and quick search function. These are handy if you have many cards. Okay, if you select view change from the menu of list on the list displays. Oh. Next is quick search. To use quick search, hold on the B button while in the list. When the sub menu appears, move by pressing up and down on the control pad or arrow keys for me while holding the B button down. If you release the B button, the cursor moves to that location. Now you know the different ways to search for what the card you want. Okay. The card in a deck. Let's now construct a deck. First, select the card in your trunk list that you want to put in your deck. Open the menu and select to make deck. If you select a side deck instead of the card being placed the card will be placed in the side. Instead, the card will be placed in the side deck. Once you remove a card from your deck, move the cursor to the deck list. Select trunk from the menu. You can also use the L or R button as quick selection options. I don't really mind. While in the list, press the R button to put the card in your deck. If you press the L button, it'll go to the trunk. Useful. If you want to put the correct ritual spell for your ritual monster card, or or the correct fusion material monster for your fusion monster card into the same deck at the same time. Hold the L button and select to the main deck. Your menu. Oh! Okay, save different deck. Like I said, this is all about learning this episode. I do want to play at least one. I do want to play at least one. Okay? I do want to play at least one duel before the end of this episode. You can save up to 8 different decks by theme. Okay? To construct a different deck, select deck mode from the menu. Deck? Wait a minute. Deck? Oh. The deck mode. Oh. In the deck mode screen, you change the name of your deck, copy your deck, or erase your deck. Oh, okay. Select the deck you want to edit by moving the cursor into the deck and selecting edit from the menu. Careful, you will use the most recently edited deck in your duel. I mentioned before that there are different types of decks. Main deck, side deck, and fusion deck. While in the deck list, you can also select deck select from the menu. You can show. Oh, from the deck menu you can show. Okay. Cards only in the main deck. Cards only in the side deck. Or cards only in the fusion deck. Very useful information. This will show all the cards in that particular deck. So all will just show everything. Be careful if you want to if you press R to place a card in your deck, you will, when you're displaying the cards only in your side deck, you will place the cards in your side deck instead. Okay. If you press start and select you will see the detailed information about the card. Fierce dragon with a deadly attack. If you hold down the R button, you can see the card text. Oh, that's pretty easy. Therefore, if you want to quick look at the card, press the R button. The R button will usually be good enough. In the options screen, if timing is set to manual, you choose to activate spell or trap cards. If you want to activate a spell or trap card only during the main phase, then check main phase. The message will ask whether you want to activate the card only during the main phase. This function is only recommended for high-level duelists. Now you know what to do in the main deck edit screen. Okay. I'm doing this for the people at home. Moving on. Okay, field description. Let's go. Duel field. Now, this is the most important part for all you guys that don't know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! On the... Because it's also set up the same way in real life, except instead of selecting and all this stuff, you can just grab the cards you want and then switch them around, do whatever. On the dual screen, you see 8. You place your cards in 8 locations: deck zone, fusion deck, monster card zone, which there are 5 cards, spell and trap card zone, field spell zone, hand, graveyard, cards from play. I'll explain each location in detail. I may use some words that you don't understand yet, but I promise to explain it to you later. Okay, moving on. You place your deck here in the deck zone. You place your fusion deck here in this fusion deck here. This is the fusion deck zone. Okay. This is your hand. You'll see the cards you draw from your deck. If you have too many cards to fit in the screen, press left or right on the left or right control play. You can see the rest of your cards. You summon or set a monster in the monster card zone. You're gonna have up to 5 monsters in the monsters card zone. Yeah, that's as simple as that it can be. Okay, spell and trap card location. You set a spell or trap card in the spell and trap zone. You must place them here first before activating. You have up to 5 spell or trap. 5 cards in the spell or trap card zone. However, you only have to place field spell cards in the field spell zone. Therefore, if your spell or trap card zone is full, you can still play a field spell. Ah, okay. So now you guys know that. Destroy monsters or offered monsters used by spells, etc. are placed in the graveyard. Wait, what? Oh no! Look at this. Cards can sometimes be removed from play. If they are, they're placed here. This shows the cards are from play. You can look at your hand, your opponent's graveyard. You can also look at your opponent's cards that are in play. Therefore, if your opponent's cards gone to the graveyard, you should see what it is. Okay, simple. Moving on. Roll the duel. Let's go. Okay. Oh god, there's 9 parts to this. Okay. In a duel, you and your opponent will take alternating turns. Turns are broken down into 5 phases: draw phase, standby phase, main phase, battle phase, and end phase. I'll explain each phase individually. Okay. First is the draw phase. draw phase. In this phase, you draw one card from your deck. When you draw, you take the top card from your deck and place it in your hand. After you draw, this phase ends. Proceed to the next phase. Okay. Standby phase. In this phase, you take preparation before entering the main phase. Depending on the card during this phase, this card effects can activate. You might pay life points, etc. For example, an example is Snatch Steal. The standby phase is the phase for these kind of effects. Ooh, okay. So now you guys know about that. Main phase. You mainly use cards during this phase. First, you can summon monsters. Take a monster card from your hand and place it on the field. You can flip summon and special summon as many monsters times as you like, but you can only normal summon or set once per turn. Once you normal summon or set one monster, you cannot normal summon or set another monster, and I'll explain more about summoning later. For now, I'll just remember you can only normal summon or set once per turn. Other than summoning monsters, you can also use trap cards. Okay. Moving on. Next is the battle phase. You can battle with your monsters. You can attack your opponent's monster on the field. Monsters on the field on your field. However, each monster can only attack once per turn. Make sure that you know the target of your monster's attack. You are now required to enter this phase. You can skip this phase if you want. After the battle phase, you enter the main phase again. The main phase after the battle phase is called main phase 2. Therefore, the main phase before the battle phase is known as main phase 1. You can choose not to enter the battle phase. It means main phase 1 simply continues. Okay. Main phase 2. As I explained previously, this is the main phase after the battle phase. Even though it's called main phase 2, you can do the same thing as main phase 1. You can summon monsters, use spells, and set traps. Well, however, as I mentioned before, you can only normal summon or set one monster per turn. Therefore, if you normal summon or set a monster in main phase 1, you cannot normal summon or set another monster in main phase 2. So that's how that works. I'm gonna explain this in a more explained way. If you normal summon a monster, like if you were playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In real life with somebody else, if you normal summon or set a monster in main phase 1, you cannot normal summon another monster or normal summon or set another monster in phase 2. So that's how that works. If in this phase you usually play a post-battle or spell or trap card. Yep, moving on. End phase. This ends your turn. There are spells, etc. that you can only use during the end phase, so their effects activate here. At this time, if you have more than 6 cards in your hand, you must discard until you have 6 cards remain in your hand. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, your turn ends. You Your turn now ends. Now it's your opponent's turn. Your opponent proceeds in the draw phase and to the end phase. After your opponent is done, it's your turn again. Okay. There are various ways to win a duel. The first way is lower your opponent's life points to 0. You start a duel with 8,000 life points. Life points decrease due to card effects, losing battles, etc. The first person with 0 life points is the loser. If you and your opponent's life points become 0 at the same time, it's a draw. There are other ways to win other than lowering your opponent's life points. If the player can't draw phase from the deck at the required time, the player loses. You must also draw a card during the draw phase, but there are also card effects that require you to draw cards. You can win by lowering your opponent's life point to 0 or forcing your opponent to run out of cards in the deck. I bet you already have some strategies in my mind. Okay, last step. Also for this, if you guys want to skip past the video, skip past all this, if you guys already know how to play, you guys can do that. For all the people that don't know how to play, you might want to watch all this. These are also more ways to win. I'll teach you one. In this method, you don't have to worry about your opponent's life points or the number of cards in your opponent's deck. You win by gathering all the required cards in your hand. These cards are right leg of the forbidden. Oh, this is just Exodia. Right leg of the forbidden one. Left leg of the forbidden one. Right arm of the forbidden one. Left arm of the forbidden one. Exodia the forbidden one. Yeah, if you have all of these cards in your hand, you immediately win. If you have all 5 cards in your hand, you win. It's awesome. There are also other ways to win, but try to discover them for yourself. Yeah, I'm trying to explain all the other ways to win. So we're almost done here. We have 3 more stuff. We have more stuff to learn. Monster summon. Okay, summon from your hand. Let's do this. I'll start with normal summon. So this is like cards that you can just summon from your hand or summon from your hand. That's what normal summon is. Normal summons are just monsters you can just place directly on the field. Normal summon means to summon or set a monster from your hand. As I mentioned earlier, you can only normal summon a turn. First, select the monster in your hand that you want to place on the field. Once you decide to place on the which monster to place on the field, place it vertically face up in the monster card zone, which is basically attack mode. Placing a monster vertically on the field is called attack position, or as I like to call it, attack mode. When you summon a monster, you place a monster in attack position in your hand on the field in attack position. Okay. Set from your hand. Instead of summoning, you can also set a monster. Place this monster horizontally face down. When a monster is horizontal, it's in defense position. Summon and set these monsters in 2 ways to place a monster from your hand on the field. Okay. There are instance you must offer during a normal summon. This is called tribute summon. You can look at the monster card. Do you see the stars? The number of stars shows the monster level. Yeah, we know this. If the star is 1 to 4, the monster is a low level monster. You can summon low level monsters as long as there's an open location in your monster card zone. The monsters with 5 or 6 are mid-level monsters. In order to place mid-level monsters from your hand on the field, you must offer one monster on your field to tribute. If you do not have a monster on your field that you can offer, you can't special summon a mid-level monster. There are higher level monsters, mid-level monsters, than mid-level monsters. They are 7 or more stars. If there are high-level monsters, similar to mid-level monsters, you must offer to normal summon a high-level monster. However, a high-level monster requires 2 monsters to be offered as a tribute. So you need to sacrifice more than 2 monsters. You lose 2 monsters on your field, but a high-level monster is very powerful. It's a very powerful monster. Be careful. Even if you set, you can still offer monsters. Therefore, your opponent will know you set a mid-level or high-level monster. You can choose to attack with a lot of monsters, or you can deal lots of damage with a single powerful monster. How you duel is up to you. Okay? When you change a monster from your field from face down defense to face up attack position, this is called flip summoning. Elemental Hero Sparkman 8. Some monsters have effects that when they're flip summoned, make sure you first set the monster. Important note: flip summoning, you cannot change the monster from face down defense to face up defense position. You must become face up attack position. Also, the monster cannot be set or flip summoned on the same turn. A common mistake by setting a monster when you really want to place it in an attack position. So, for you guys that don't know what that means you have to be careful what monsters you want to set them. Okay, continuing to teach others how to play the game. If it's time for your monsters to battle, the points you use in battle change depending on the monster is in attack or defense position. On a monster card, that there are also attack and defense numbers. These are the cards attacking defense points. When the card is in attack position, use the attack number. When the card is in defense position, use the defense number. You make sure that both know what both players are before you play the card. Now I'll explain the flaw of battle. can enter a battle phase, first select which monsters you want to attack with. Only monsters in attack position can attack. Monsters that can attack have a mark. Therefore, select a monster with a mark. Why is my hand so sweaty? Freak. After you select a monster to attack with, select one of your monsters as the attack. Opponent's monster as the target of that attack. The monster you attack can be in attack or position or defense position, attack mode or defense mode. However, be careful. If you don't know the defense of that monster in face down defense position. If your opponent has no monsters on the field, you can attack your opponent's attack life mode directly. Your opponent has no monsters to block the attack, so this is a great opportunity to lower your opponent's life points. Which I'm going to be doing a lot of that, by the way. Damage step. After selecting your opponent's monster, the two monsters will battle. First, I'll explain what happens to both monsters in attack position. If your monster's attack is greater than your opponent's monster's attack, your opponent's monster is destroyed. When both monsters are in attack position, the monster with the greater attack wins. The defeated monster is sent to the graveyard, is destroyed and sent to the graveyard. Next is the difference in attack. Next, the difference in attack is subtracted from the life points of the losing player. If your monster has fewer attack than your opponent's monster, your opponent is destroyed. Your monster is destroyed and you receive damage. Be careful when choosing the attack. Choosing the target of your attack. If the attack of both monsters are the same, they are both destroyed. However, neither player takes any damage to their life points. Next, I'll explain a battle where a monster is in attack position, attacks a monster in defense position. When an attacking monster in attack position, when attacking a monster in defense position, compare the attacking monster's attack to the defending monster's defense points. Like now, if the attacking monster has more attack than the defense monster has defense points, the defending monster is destroyed. Unlike the attacking monster in attack, if you destroy a monster in defense position, no battle damage is dealt to your opponent's life points. If the defending monster is defense and the attacking monster is greater than the monster's attack, the attacking monster is not destroyed. However, the point in difference is dealt to you as damage. You have to be careful when attacking a set monster. Set a monster with high defense, you have a good chance of damaging your opponent. Place these cards with high defense in defense position. The attacking monster and defending monster is equal, neither monster is destroyed, and neither player takes damage. When the attacking monster attacks your opponent directly, all your attacking monster's attack points is dealt as damage. You can attack your opponent directly with a powerful monster when your chances of winning increase. The damage calculation is called the damage. Make sure to remember that. When attacking a monster in face-down defense position, the face-down defense position monster changes to face-up defense position. When the monster has a flip effect, the flip effect activates at this time. However, the effect activates after the damage step. In other words, it activates after damage calculation. Even if the monster is destroyed in battle, the effect will still activate. Be wary of flip effects when attacking a monster in face-down defense position, or face-down defense mode. If you have normal monsters to attack with in the battle phase, the menu appears on when you press the beast button, select whether to proceed to main phase 2 or the end phase. You're not in the battle even if there are other monsters to attack. Once you end the battle and proceed, you with the same method. Yep, so now you guys know how to do battle, and then how to use spell and trap cards. Now this is the last part of this, so after this, I've been recording for an hour now. After this, I'm ending the video, because I can't do this anymore. Let me talk about spelling. Spell cards, if you use spell cards wisely, the duel will proceed in your favor. You use spell cards from your hand, or you can first place it on the field. On your field. There are two ways to use spell cards. However, regardless of which way you choose, you must have an open space for your spell and trap card zones to play the spell. To use a spell, move the cursor to the card and select activating effect. Want to place it on the field place it face down. Unlike the monster card, it will always be vertical. You can set it to use on your next turn or to trick your opponent. There are various strategies you can use. Depending on the spell, you may have to pay the cost when it activates. Discard one card from your hand to pay 800 life points. There are types of activation costs written in the card text. You cannot pay the costs such as having the cards in your hand to discard one card in your hand, and you cannot activate the spell. If you have less than 1,000 life points, try to play a card that pay 1,000 life points. What happens? Pay the cost of your life points. If you pay the cost, your life points will fall to 0 and you'll lose. Therefore, you cannot activate the spell in this situation. Now that you know about activation costs, let me teach you about targets. activating a spell, you have to select a suitable target for the spell's effect. For example, with an equip spell, you have to declare which monster the spell will equip on. Target can be a monster, a spell on the field, or something else. That's it for activating spells. After the effect of the spell activates, it becomes an effect that is applied. For an equipped spell, it is applied when it is equipped onto a target monster. Destroy and draw effects will also be performed when they are applied. After the effect is applied, the spell is complete. Used spells are sent to the graveyard. However, equipped spells and continuous spells are not sent to the graveyard and remain on the field. To activate the spell you activate a spell, pay the activation card, and select the target. Activation occurs first. Then the effect is applied after. You use the spell is sent to the graveyard. This is the flow of using a spell. Please remember it. Let's start with normal spells. This normal spell does not have an icon. You can only activate a normal spell during the main phase. After it is used, it is sent to the graveyard. These spells are easy to use, and many of them have powerful effects. Okay. Next, I'll explain the equip spells. An equip spell is a spell that with the equip icon on the card's name. When you activate it, you must design which monster you will equip it on. You are selecting a target. Yeah, so that's how equip spells work. You select a target, and then you probably know the rest. If the card text specifically states what kind of monster it can equip, you must select a target monster that meets the requirements. Some equip spells can only equip onto specific monster type or attribute, or your opponent's monsters. Therefore, you must make sure to read the card text carefully. If it meets the requirements, you can not only equip onto your own monsters, but you can also equip onto your opponent's monsters. However, an equip spell can only be equipped onto face-up monsters. Since you cannot equip face-down monsters, you cannot select them as targets. After selecting a target, it equips onto the target monster. The effect is applied. After it is used, the equip spell does not go to the graveyard and remains on the field. However, if the equipped monster is destroyed or offered as a tribute and leaves the field, the equip spell is destroyed. Okay, continuous spells. This is taking too long. I might just end the video. I'm sorry I didn't get to... I mean, of course I'll save, but... it's whatever. When activating a continuous spell is the same as a normal spell. It can only be activated during the main phase. unlike a normal spell, once it becomes activated, it's activated and becomes face up, it remains on the field. Even after the spell is applied, it remains on the field. You can continue to use it as long as it remains on the field. Most continuous spells have this effect. Since continuous spells remain on the field, if you have activated 5 continuous spells, you will have no open spaces in your spell and trap card zone. If that happens, you cannot activate another spell. No, that'll happen. Next, I'll explain the quick play spell. As a quick play spell, it has one major difference from the other spells. As long as it's your turn, you can activate even if it's not your main phase. Even if it's not the main phase, such as the standby phase or when you're attacking during your battle phase, you can still activate this. Is why it is called a quick play spell. However, you can only activate a quick play spell during your turn when it's in your hand. If you set a quick play spell on the field, you can no longer activate it during that turn. At this point, it is the same as a trap card. Oh god. However, if you set it, you can also activate it during your opponent's turn. This is the same as a trap card. Even if it's the main phase, you can activate a quick play spell during your opponent's turn as long as it is set. Therefore, you can judge your opponent's actions and choose when to use it. A ritual spell is used for special summoning. Man, it is hot in here. I mean, I have my. Hold on, let me open my room window. Let me see if that helps any. A ritual monster is a spell used for special summon a ritual monster. Similar to normal spells, if it is in your hand, you can activate it from your hand on the field. I'll explain special summoning ritual monsters later. Last, I'll explain field spells. Unlike other spells, you don't have to place the field spell and the spell or trap card zone. It is played. You place it in the field spell zone. Even if you set it face down or activate it directly from your hand, you must place it in the field spell zone. After a field spell zone activates, it is not sent to the graveyard. It remains on the field in the field spell zone. You may have not noticed, but your opponent each have a field spell zone. That means you can activate a field spell, only one field spell card. However, one field spell card can activate. Only one field spell card can active at a time. In other words, if you activate a field spell on your opponent on the field and your opponent activates a field spell, another field spell, your field spell is in the graveyard. It also occurs if you activate a new field spell when you have an old field spell on your field. Okay, so in this game, here's something I want to achieve. I want to achieve having a water type. Now, that may be for some people, but to me, that's actually really funny. You can, on the field, can I also activate the field spell on the field? The active field spell is on the field, goes in the graveyard. You can, when you activate a new field spell. Okay, I think I get it. Okay, I think the people at home get it. You don't have to keep switching field spells. This also happens if you set down a field spell after sending an old field spell to the graveyard. Set a new field spell. The field spell effects on the entire field. Not only does it affect your monsters, but it affects your opponent's monsters as well. Similarly, your opponent's field spell also affects your monsters. Be careful when using field spells. Okay, I feel you. Unlike spell cards, you cannot activate trap cards from your hand. You must first set them on the field. They also cannot be activated until your current turn is over. However, unlike a spell, if a trap is set on the field and your opponent's turn is over, you can activate it even during your opponent's turn. When your opponent is performing an action, such as drawing a card or summoning a monster, you can activate it even then. However, there are activation timings. If can activate when XXX is written in the card text. You can only activate it at that time. Examples of activation timings is can activate when your opponent summons a monster, or can activate when your opponent declares an attack. During the game, if you set a trap card and the activation timing is appropriate, you can automatically be asked when you want to activate. Therefore, there is no need to worry about missing your chance. Okay? Similar to spell and trap spells, some trap cards have activation costs. You must pay them to activate the traps. There are traps that require you to select a target. Some, similar to spells, must select a target when you activate them. Reinforcements? Wait, what? Similar to spell cards, when trap cards affect end, you send them to the graveyard. However, continuous traps remain on the field similar to continuous spells. The differences between a spell card and a trap card are a spell can be activated with your hand or your field as long as it's in your main phase, but a trap card must be set on the field and cannot activate until your current turn is done. However, you can activate a trap even during your opponent's turn. These are different main differences between a spell and trap. Okay. Counter traps. Let's look at a counter trap. A counter trap has is always activated due to an effect. It may activate due to an activation of a spell or a trap. It may also activate when your opponent summons a monster. Whatever the case, whatever the cause, it only activates due to some effect or action. Be careful. Unlike other traps, you cannot activate whenever you like. A continuous trap remains on the field even after it activates. As mentioned previously, this is like the same as a continuous spell. As long as the continuous trap remains on the field, its effect is it remains active. It is a powerful trap because not only you can activate it during your opponent's turn, but also it also remains on the field. However, since the card remains on the field, the card's effect continues to affect you too. Think carefully when using it. Okay, last one. To teach these people how to play using Duel. I mentioned spells and trap activation timings earlier. The game automatically acts at the appropriate activation timing. You don't have to worry about activating a spell or trap like you want. However, it can become annoying because to be acted over and over, such as quick play spell. In this case, you can select the activation timing. The option screen see the activation timing menu. You can now freely choose to activate the activation timing of the spells and traps. Once you get used to dueling, it may be good to set your activation timing. However, you cannot choose activation timings for cards that only activate during an exact timing, such as you can activate only during XXX written on its card text. Be careful. Yeah, that's the end of all this. Alright. No, we don't need to hear that again. Okay, we're good. If you don't know the controls, select tutorial. You ought to remember that. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm so tired. Go to bed? No, let's go to sleep. Monday. Time to start school. It's time for today's lesson. Let's begin with field spells. Alexis, can you explain to the class? Unlike normal spells, field spells can be placed in the field spell zone. Yeah, we already know. Yeah, I think she's gonna just explain everything that we already know. A lot of Oculus students come from the best middle school dueling academies. They're the top grade in everything. Man, I wish I was smart. I was smart, blah blah blah. Yeah. I think we already know. You there? What are you whispering about? Care to share with the class? Uh-oh. And that pipsqueak. If you don't care to learn, I suggest you leave. I'm sorry, sir. Yeah. Oh man. I gotta tell you about something. I'll teach you about the PDA. Okay. You can use your PDA in your room at night or when you're going somewhere. While moving, use your PDA. Yeah. I think. Yeah. I'll explain how the PDA works. The PDA is an older story. I went through the tutorial just to, teach some people about how to use it. Yeah. Select save. Play before switching off. You can now send mail to Jaden Yuki, Sarah Truesdale, Chumley. Come on, guys, you have to pay attention in class. Whoa, it's Alexis. Hang out after class, not during or even better the weekends. That way, you can chill in different places on the island. That's more interesting than the classroom. Since there are no class on Saturday or Sundays, you go anywhere on the island. You find your opponents do it during the weekend too. It's smart to buy card packs at shops to strengthen your deck. All I'm saying is the weekend is the time to play, not class. Soon, Alexis talk to you. But I think she talked to you. Anyway, buy cards at the shop using DP. You have dual points, right, Ultimate? No, I don't. What? You don't? Ah, man, that's not good. You won't be able to improve your deck at all. If all I see are black clouds ahead. Oh, I know. You should go to Professor Banner. I bet he can help you out. Hello there, Ultimate, if I'm not mistaken. Your family sent me some money. I've been holding it for you. Don't worry, I didn't steal any of it. Here's all 3,000 points of it. Gain 3,000. Yeah! Yeah, 3,000. Dual points are DP or dual points. I know that. They know that. Use them to buy cards at the shop. You can gain dual points by defeating your opponents in duels. You'll find people to challenge all around the campus. When you're ready, duel as many opponents and gain lots of DP. However, don't waste your DP to wisely. Welcome to the shop. Here at the shop, you can buy dual packs with the DP you acquired in the duels. You can also input passwords to get cards. We don't always sell the same packs. It all depends on the time you go. Gear, the rank, the cards you own, and a bunch of other factors. We get all new packs every Tuesday, so make sure to get here before we sell out. The shop is closed on Sundays, therefore you want to get cards, make sure to come on Saturday. We'll have our grand openings this weekend, so come back then. See you then. Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday. Where should I go today? Yeah, I'm gonna go into my room first. Tomorrow's Sunday. Use PDA. Save my game. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Saving data now. Yeah, let me save it again just to make sure. There we go. Tomorrow is Sunday. Duel you? Maybe some other time. I don't want people to think that I pick on the weak. Oh, okay. Bring it. Alright, bring it on, Jake. Hey, Ultimate. You're just in time for a duel. What do you say? Duel? Sure. Yeah, that's the spirit. Even if my partners are not anxious to duel, even my partner's anxious to duel. Tails. I choose Tails. I miss. God damn it. No! I gotta go first. God dang it. Alright. Bring it on, you freak! What the freak am I gonna do today? Okay. Let's see. Where the hell? Dark Fire Soldier. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna here's what I'm gonna do. What? Okay, you're Inferno. I wanna summon him. I'm gonna summon Dark Fire Soldier. And then I'm also gonna set this face down. There we go. Okay. So now that I have that face down, I can go ahead and end my turn. And this may be the only duel I do this episode, but I promise I will do it next episode. Get your game on! It's my turn! So I draw. Check this card out! Polymerization! Cool, it's my favorite card! Elemental Hero, Flame Wingman! Uh-oh. That's not good. Uh-oh. Well, that's... Sorry, Ultimate. Elemental Hero, Flame Wingman is gonna attack Darkfire Soldier. Uh-oh. No! You're up! Uh-oh. Okay, I draw! Wait, do I have any monsters? Ooh, I can special summon. Or I can special summon. Hold up. Here's what I'm gonna do. Special summon. To remove from play. This guy. I'm gonna summon him in defense mode. There we go. I'll also activate this. Yeah, I don't have anything strong enough to take out his flame. I'm gonna summon Spear Dragon in attack position. Uh-oh. Oh no, not that thing. Sorry, Ultimate. My Spear Dragon is gonna attack Inferno. Uh-oh. My Inferno... What? He was in defense mode! Yeah, direct attack! Uh-oh. Ow! Gosh darn it! You're up. Uh-oh. I may lose this fight. Uh-oh. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do Ominous. Wait, no, wait. What? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set... Hold on, let me see the details. Hey, 1,500 life. I don't have 1,500 life points. That would help me if I had... Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do Spirit of Flames. Yes. Select one fire. Yeah. Summon him in attack mode. There we go. Now I'm gonna activate this. This. That gives my monster 2,200. I can defeat. Now attack Flame Wingman! Attack him! Attack him! Oh wait, he has 36. I just killed myself. Yeah, that's game. Let's do it again later. Oh, Sunday. Can't type. Oh, I can't. Drop, save, and then run in here. I'm gonna save it in here. That was a bust. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Hi. Hey. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out all the stuff that's on my channel. Also, check out all the stuff I might do later. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next video. Bye bye.